მოგესალმებით. ძალიან მიხარია თქვენთან ერთად რომ ვარ და ამისთვის ძალიან დიდი მადლობა ორგანიზატორებს.
I'm happy to be with you and thank you very much.
სახელმწიფო მუზეუმ ნაკრძალს, რომელიც 2008 წლის
We are from the large Liakhvi State Museum Reserve that is displaced since 2008. While before 2008, it used to be located in currently occupied Tskhinvali region or specifically in Khurta village. Before 2008, the main activity of the museum was to preserve the local heritage artifacts, carry out monitoring, maybe restore some, and popularize them. While since the outbreak of the war in 2008, because we no longer have access to the locality and you cannot carry out any kind of work locally, we've changed our direction, and currently we are mainly focusing on research, on scientific studies, on educational programs as well. Currently, the museum is located in the refugee village in Gori, and I mentioned research, so we're actually working on different kinds of scientific publications related to heritage of displaced people. Also, we are studying the press clippings from 19th century and 20th century as well. Also, we are carrying out uninterrupted virtual monitoring of cultural heritage monuments in order to establish their status, relying on different Russian and Ossetian internet resources through information published on internet. As for our educational work, which is a main topic of our today's presentation, and it's called just that, the museum as a symbol of unity of displaced people. In our museum, we are being visited by school pupils, children who've been exiled from their own houses following the outbreak of the war in 2008, and they've been our beneficiaries for around 10 years already. We get them engaged in different educational activities.
ბავშვებთან ერთად სხვადასხვა საგანმანათლებლო საქმიანობას ვახორციელებთ მუზეუმში.
So we are carrying out different kinds of activities within the museum along with the children around different topics that might be of interest to them. And apart from children, it's quite important to mention that other beneficiaries of our museum services are people from older generations whom found their way to us through different projects. One of the projects was carried out in cooperation with Foodpart, and this is the very project that Salome is going to elaborate upon. Let me welcome you. In order to preserve cultural heritage, being quite an acute problem as of today, especially having in mind that the population whose cultural heritage we are trying to preserve is exiled from their homeland. And one characteristics of cultural heritage, its authenticity and veracity was being expressed. And in order to study all of this heritage, we've organized a project helping the unity and standing together and expression of identity of the displaced people in order to retain this identity. As at our reserve, along with Blue Park and Protection Center for Cultural Heritage, and with help of other international partners. These projects are preservation on intangible cultural heritage, and specifically in Tskhinvali region. Within the scope of the project, we organized a meeting with displaced population, and through interviewing, we managed to collect information about crucial components of this heritage. Apart from that, we've organized focus groups meetings within displaced people settlements, such in Zerovani and Poda, as well as in the reserve, where we've managed to outline the role of heritage in forming up the identity even more. Since displaced people have been resettled to different parts of Georgia, uh, young people have do not have enough information about cultural heritage of occupied Senwali regions. Therefore, the danger of losing this heritage for future generations is higher because they are growing up in different environments. They might not be remembering whatever they've left behind in the valleys of Didi and Padara Liakhvi rivers and elsewhere. So that's why educational programs carried out by virtue of these projects gives these people a chance to keep in touch with their own heritage, to learn more about it, whether it would be the festivities, local festivities, rural traditions, derived from the local material monuments that was helping this population to keep its unity while they were still living in their homeland. Apart from that, we are using this project to dissipate information about the current state of affairs in occupied regions. And also we are teaching them some of the local crafts. Apart from that, the museum reserve uh, serves as a bridge, as a unifying link for those people who are actually cut off from their own land and can no longer keep on with traditions that they used to follow while they were living back there. So meeting with these people and several events that were dedicated to the issue helped these people to retain this connection, to keep in touch and bring back those cultural elements into their daily lives.
ოკუპირებული ცხინვალის რეგიონის ერთ-ერთი სოფლის კეხვის მნიშვნელოვანი დღესასწაული საღვთო
For instance, I can give you an example of one of the important festivity of one of the villages in Liakhvi Valley, Gekhvi village, that you can observe as an exhibition actually. Didi Liakhvi Museum Reserve, without its exhibits, is representing one of the channels of restoring the communication for this society in order to increase its resilience. Also providing the means of informal education for young people, including crafts being taught to them. And for a conclusion, I should mention also that future plans of our museum is to organize a summer school for displaced people, but not only, for young people and adults, for whomever might be concerned, for anybody who believes in importance of preservation of inheritance from occupied regions. And it will be dedicated to put into the fore the heritage of this region and to also to increase awareness, general awareness about it. Thank you very much for your attention.